Yo, what's up, good people? At least let me straighten my tie up. I got my tie everywhere. What's up, good people? Thank you for joining on. Tonight, listen, we want to have a conversation around how do you raise your confidence even if you don't have big results? Okay. We want to have a conversation around that because everybody at some point in time deals with this. They might not say it. They might not just come out and say it to you. I'm having an issue with confidence because I'm seeing everybody else with big results, major results, but I am not experiencing those myself. So let's jump into that. First, let's deal with the word confidence. Confidence. Everybody struggles with this at confidence, having confidence throughout their journey. I don't care what you're doing, right? You struggle with that. I was having a conversation in the barbershop about, they were talking about this whole idea of going to barber school and what barber school did for them, but then actually going into a actual barbershop and start cutting, how there was a difference between the transition. And the conversation evolved into, listen, everybody deals with that. I don't care what you do. If you're leaving from a stage of learning to the application stage or the implementation stage, man, that thing is tough. And the conversation is just around the fact that, you can cut hair in the school. When you get out there into the real world and start chopping somebody up, man, the only way that you're going to learn is by practicing. So that's our first point right there. Your confidence is going to be built through practice. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be great. And it's going to be like, man, you know what? I need to go somewhere else right now. That's how your confidence is built, through practice. And until you practice, you mess it up, you destroy it, it's ugly, you're not going to necessarily learn, right? You can hear from somebody else can tell you about it, and it can sound good, but until you get out there and get your reps, that's how we talked about it in football, in sports. We talked about getting your reps. When you get your reps, you're able to then make the decisions, because it may be different for you than the person that's telling you the information. Now, the information may be valuable, it may be worth hearing, but man, until you get out there and do that thing, it ain't. It's good theory, but until you get out there and actually practice it, it doesn't mean a whole lot. Okay, it doesn't mean a whole lot to you. So let me pause and thank you for those that are joining. Hey man, thanks for joining. I'm Tony Kimball. This is Transforming Lives podcast. I'm getting on today just talking about this whole idea of building confidence. And if you had the opportunity, man, share this with a friend, because we all deal with this confidence issue, right? We deal with it. We might not trust everybody to share this information with, but we struggle with confidence, right? Don't let nobody fool you. It's how we cover it up or how we deal with it to move forward. Okay. So the first thing is just get reps, right? You learn by practicing. And the practice, does it get perfect? Over time. This is year 20 for me in education. Let me tell you. Woo! Just made a post making fun of a former teacher that was doing a phenomenal job leading the students in. And it was a breath of fresh air, because I went back to think about, man, back then, I was just trying to see up out of there, right? Just trying to see to the next day. I was just trying to get to a point where I could actually help kids. But here's the amazing thing about it. It was those reps. Now that I can have conversations with teachers and tell them, man, it's going to be all right. It's ugly. It's going to be all right, though, because you're getting those reps in. You don't get reps when you sit down. You don't get reps when you just say, forget it, when you back down from it. You don't get those reps. So it's all about getting repetition with the right reps. Let me add that too. It's about the correct practice. Okay. Number two, here's what we got here. Number two, be okay to fail. Be okay to fail. I know that doesn't sound good at all. That's not, doesn't seem like that's great advice. Be okay to fail and know it's a part of the process. Okay. Failure is a part of the process. It just is. Sorry. No one told you that, but failure is part of the process. And you're going to have those. The thing I love about failure is it's going to come. How you deal with it is important because how you deal with failure in maybe year 1 to 3 of your life is going to be different than you deal with it in chapter number 12. It's totally different. But if you're living, you face failure. I don't care where you are in your life. I don't care if you're successful, if you're unsuccessful in your own eyes. Man, you've dealt with failure. How you deal with failure helps you to move forward, or how you categorize failure helps you to move forward, right? Is it a learning experience for you? It can't be a roadblock. Cannot be. You have to place that into a category of saying, look, what's happening here? What am I supposed to pull from this? I'm not a failure. I guess number one, we need to say that you're not a failure based on that experience. And it's just an experience. And you learn, you make adjustments, and you move forward. That's basically it. But you got to be okay with understanding that's going to happen. And surround yourself with people that will help you through and understand it's part of the process. That's how people get, that's how people get these great ideas, because they failed. That's how they get these great ideas from. They failed. They took what their failure was, and then they applied it in a different way, and like, bam, this works out right here. I think that's how electricity got started too, I think, right? Don't quote me on that. YouTube, Google it and find out. But that's how failure, that's what failure does for you. Okay. Then the last one that we're going to look at is give yourself grace and lower your expectations, especially when you're brand new. Okay. Give yourself grace, lower your expectations, especially when you're brand new. You got me? Hey, man. Woohoo. Listen, that first year teaching, let me tell you something. I'm in Asheville, North Carolina. I got a full math degree. I know math. But my first day, they told me some stuff in the training and all that good stuff. But then I got up into that classroom. I was like, how do you write on this overhead? So I'm back in the overhead days, right? With the clear paper. I don't even know what the name of it. I'm trying to write on the overhead. And I'm like, is this overhead turned the right way? Them kids had to help me set up my overhead. I thought I had it. But lower your expectations does not mean that doesn't mean that it's going to be the end of the road, or it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not worth anything, right? Doesn't mean that. It just means, yeah, any type of transition into something's new is a period of you have to adapt to it, adaptability. You have to adapt to it. Sometimes that's not easy. Okay. So here, man, make the adjustments. Even if you're leaving one career to go into another career, man, that's an adjustment. So be careful on allowing someone to put unrealistic expectations on you too. I need to point that out. You got to know how to manage those expectations. Look, I keep saying I'm gonna come on here for a couple of minutes, man. It's up to 9, it's up to 10 minutes now. Whatever. I didn't try it out. But anyway, I'm gonna stop at 10 minutes. Listen, you raise your confidence, although you don't see big results right now, by making sure you go through and get the reps, practice. Okay. That's number one. And number two, when you're looking at how do I raise my confidence when I don't, is being okay with failure, because it's just a part of the process. This is what it is. Give yourself grace, lower your expectations, because you're brand new. Listen, this is a Transforming Live podcast. You cannot transform your life alone, or you cannot transform your life with bad information. Get the right information and get around the right people. Man, have a great one. Peace out. And hey, if you're listening to this as a replay, hey man, drop some wisdom in the comments down there. Let us know. Peace.